Pittsburgh out of the ACC, Minnesota out of the Big Ten. We are ready to go. Rachel Kilkelly serves to open this match with a spot in the regional finals on the line. And the first swing goes wide, and it's a point for Minnesota.
Yeah, and you see the face immediately from Inde, not happy about that first air. That's all right, though. Little jitters here playing in the regional semifinals. Both teams will settle in.
Kilkelly, the sophomore, with the second serve, and a good start for Minnesota. The Golden Gophers 16-2 on the season. They've won 5 in a row. They finished in the top 3 again in the Big Ten. They've been in the top 3 for each of the last 5 seasons. Second place this year, and off to a good start here against Pittsburgh. That block goes out of play, and it's the first point for Pittsburgh. Okay, so KG, give me some of your keys as this match unfolds here today between Pittsburgh and Minnesota, the things you really will have your eye on and we should have our eyes on as well.
Well, I think you have to keep an eye first and foremost on the defensive performances from both of these teams. And keep in mind, blocking at the net is the first line of defense. These two teams have so much firepower offensively on both sides of the pins. But who's going to dig more balls? Who's going to get more touches on the blocks? Whoever hangs in and is resilient in the back row, I think is going to have the advantage tonight.
Well, we saw some examples, a couple of good defensive plays there, but in the end, it's off the block, and it's a point for Pittsburgh.
And that's where Inde has really grown from a season ago. She's able to adjust her body mid-air. She's able to visualize and see the block in front of her, find those hands, and score in a variety of ways.
First team all-conference in the ACC this year. Set up perfectly and hammered down for the early kill for Reagan Pittman. And he talked about the firepower for Minnesota. Everywhere you look on the court, they have someone who can finish.
Yeah, and Reagan Pittman does a phenomenal job. Look, one-on-one, set might not be just perfect. She turns, just goes to the throwdown, and quickly finds the court.
Good swing from Inde, who played so well with those 17 kills, hitting .412 in the sweep over Utah, and it was very impressive. 25-16, 25-18, 25-19 against the number 14 seed.
And Inde getting off to a similar start from what we saw on Thursday. Already 3 kills on a total of 5 attacks.
Give another point to Pittsburgh, and the Panthers are in front.
And that's a rare mistake out of the back row from Stephanie Samity. You'll see Melanie Schaffmaster, the true freshman setter for Minnesota, find Samity wherever she is on the court, whether that's front row, back row, because she's always a lethal weapon. But you rarely see her make a mistake like that in the net.
Point for Minnesota, ties things at 4. Samity, the team leader in kills as a senior, as a junior, as a sophomore, as a freshman. To Katie's point before, watching her over 4 years, it's not like someone who developed and grew into the player she is now. She's been elite since day one. Oh, dropped in beautifully, a point for Minnesota, back in front.
And Taylor Landfair is going to be fun to watch over the span of her 4-year career. Someone very much like Stephanie Samity, the top recruit in the nation, decides to come to Minnesota. She's already playing at such a high level as an 18, 19-year-old. Where does she go from here? If she can evolve and add to her toolkit like we've seen from Samity year in and year out, it's going to be so much fun to see the ceiling and where she goes.
Well, one valuable piece is there. She's 6'5" as a freshman, so she comes in.
That doesn't hurt.
Can't control that part of the toolkit. It's what you do with it, and she's done great right from the very start. Second on the team in kills percent this year. Samity digs it out from Inde. And another kill for Landfair. Good start for Minnesota. After that early error for the Gophers, it's a 4-0 run. And sensing the run for Minnesota, Dan Fisher calls a timeout for Pittsburgh. Hugh McCutcheon in her 9th season. Katie, we asked him after the win in round 2, could he find any fault with how they played against Georgia Tech? And I thought he put it pretty bluntly. Our job as coaches is to be perpetually dissatisfied, but it was pretty clean. So even he had to admit it was a pretty good performance to get to this point in the tournament.
Yeah, and he laughed, of course, as he said that. Oh, and an error that you don't usually see from Pittsburgh there. Breakdown in communication results in Rollins' ace. But Hugh McCutcheon, he laughed and he said, you know what, there's a couple things we want to upgrade. He didn't exactly share what those items were with us, but you know that they were going back to the drawing board, pat on the back. Now it's time to move forward and get focused for the next one. And right out of the gate, Minnesota is off to a phenomenal start.
Well, you just saw their first ace. Now you've seen their first block. It's a 6-0 run night right now for Minnesota. Pittsburgh took the timeout, and out of that timeout, they had the breakdown for that first point, and Minnesota continues to build the momentum. But we have seen it so many times, Katie, when that momentum is building, the easy way to stop it is a service error. So that's a break for Pittsburgh.
Now to be up to Lexis Akeo, sophomore setter, to come in, get this team back on track, to start a little run, string together a couple of points here, put the pressure on Minnesota's serve receive.
That violation, so give the point to Minnesota.
And this is where Minnesota is so dangerous. After Lexis Akeo's serve, the pass actually took Melanie Schaffmaster well beyond the 10-foot line. She was still able to set up Landfair, and they get a great swing out of system on it. So they're always bringing the attack. They're always putting pressure on opponents' defense, no matter if they're in system perfectly or out of system.
Oh, good job defensively by Minnesota to stay in the point. And then the point for Pittsburgh, Wokolo.
Nice job there by Akeo, recognizing good pass right on top of my head. Let's get the middles involved here. She goes to Chiamaka Wokolo.
Valeria Vasquez Gomez, redshirt freshman from Puerto Rico, who had 8 kills and 6 digs in that win against Utah.
Great dig, great swing.
And that dropped in. So the big swing from Lund is returned, but the little change of pace from Wokolo came in handy for Pittsburgh to bring it within 3.
Heads up play there by Wokolo, recognized she was in a little bit quick. That set was low. Here's the swing from Lund. Great job by Kilkelly getting underneath it, bringing it over. But a nice job by Wokolo just placing that tip right over top of the block.
Dug out, but Lund can't get there, slid into the scores table. Good effort, but it's a point for Minnesota.
Minnesota is a very good serving team, very aggressive. Pittsburgh's going to have to withstand the test in the back row from a serve receive standpoint.
Minnesota averaging 1.5 aces per set, which was 6th of the Big Ten, giving you an idea of the depth and the quality of play in the Big Ten. Give a point to Pittsburgh. And the Panthers down 11-8 here in the first set. Had to use a timeout early to try to slow things down, and now maybe finding their footing a little bit against the number 3 seed as Zoe Faki will come in to serve. That one's off the mark. Back-to-back points for the Panthers. Pittsburgh 18-4 on the... Go ahead, Katie.
Just a big play there for Pittsburgh. Faki has a great serve, puts the pressure on. An air from Landfair there, turns it a little bit too far outside.
Serve from Faki. Chance here for Pittsburgh. Lund. Lund again. They go to Starks in the middle. setting the junior from Springfield, Nebraska, and it's a 5-0 run for the Panthers.
Great pickup by Vasquez Gomez off the block. Alexis Akeo forcing that middle with Starks again. Really nice job catching Minnesota's block off guard by forcing that quick one set to their middles.
Correction, 5-1 run here for Pittsburgh. 3-0 is the point streak. And that one's going to miss the mark. Hitting error from Lund, and a point for Minnesota here in the first set.
And you see Stephanie in the huddle for Minnesota saying, let's go, we need to get going here, pushing the urgency.
Team that made it to the national semifinal round for the 3rd time in 5 years last year. So she's been in this moment before. That's deflected out of play, and a point for Minnesota.
Nice job by Adana Rollins, going high hands, finding the fingertips, putting it well outside the court of play for the kill. You know, she does a lot of things, Hugh McCutcheon says, that go unnoticed or maybe don't get the recognition that they deserve, because you have a Stephanie Samity, you have a Taylor Landfair on your team, but Rollins is the glue that holds this Minnesota team together, which I thought was high praise from McCutcheon talking about Rollins.
Good dig by Akeo to keep Pittsburgh in the point. Oh, diving effort to try to get there, but Panthers will run out of room. And the point goes to Minnesota.
Great hustle here by Pitt, but a nice high swing over top of that block by Samity Borowski. Just can't get her hands on it in time to keep it in the court. Good pursuit.
Oh, that swing is going to be off the mark. It goes wide. So Lund trying to find her game here in the early going for Pittsburgh, and a timeout is called here in the first set, with the Panthers now down by 5 to Minnesota. Pittsburgh 18-4 on the season, 14-4 in the ACC. In the fall, they struggled, Katie. They were 4-4. Dan Fisher's team lost the first 2 matches of the season to Syracuse, and it really looks from a distance, and we talked to Dan about this a little bit heading into this game, about a chance to reset, recalibrate, and what they did worked for this spring season, because they have not lost since the fall. It's been a great spring for Pittsburgh.
It really has, and so much of it, I mean, you and I talk about it, it's timing, right? You have to start clicking and playing your best volleyball at the right time when you get closer to the NCAA tournament. And Dan Fisher says he's seen that from his team. They feel very complete. He feels like he has the key pieces that he's needed. And this has been a long time coming. He and I on the Zoom, we were laughing, Eric, with you, because I remember back in my days, I was done at Louisville in 2015. That was my final season, and we battled against Pitt in 2015. I think every time we faced one another, it went to 5 sets. That was the cusp. That was the upward start of their trajectory of becoming not only a household name in the ACC, but a national contender. So it's taken some time, but now they're here, and the performance we saw against Utah on Thursday night, I think, was a culmination, and you could see players tearful after the victory, because they finally did something that they had never done before in program history, and that was make it to a regional semifinal. So Dan Fisher is extremely proud of everything that they've done this season, what they've accomplished, but of course their sights are set on bigger and better things. They just need to kick it into gear, and if you see the difference in the hit percentage there, Minnesota 353, Pittsburgh a dismal 038. So they need to lock in here and start executing efficiently from an offensive attack standpoint.
Now they're trying to get Lund going. She doesn't have a kill so far, but the Minnesota block strong to put the Gophers on top by 6.
Stephanie Samity on the right side. She's 6'2". Shea Rubright right next to her, 6'5". It's a big wall to go up against.
5-0 run for Minnesota. Comes to a close with a point there for Pittsburgh.
And I appreciate that set by Akeo. You just had Lund, who got roofed by the block, right? Rather than going away from Lund and trying to set somebody else in that moment, she went right back to Lund, helped get her the kill, put her in a good position, a winnable situation. She gets the tool off the block. That's how you build confidence and instill confidence in your player, a teammate that just made an error or mistake.
3 early errors for Lund. She gets her first kill, averaging almost 4 kills a set. And that's off of Browski, the libero for Pittsburgh. And Minnesota gets the point right back.
Nice job by Schaffmaster, taking the good pass, running Shea Rubright right out of the middle. Keeps the block honest.
Kilkelly with the serve. Ende winds up. Kept alive again by the Minnesota defense. Oh, great save to stay in the point. But Pittsburgh fights back and gets it.
A phenomenal one-handed up by Rachel Kilkelly. Unfortunately, just drifts a little bit too far over the net for Stark's overpass kill. But watch this down the off the block. Great pursuit by Kilkelly. Just doesn't result in a point.
Dug out by Kilkelly, but a good job by Pittsburgh now answering back at the net.
Wow, you do not see that often. Reagan Pittman is lethal every time she is set. Nice job by Sabrina Starks going one-on-one, getting her hands over in time for the block.
That's the first block for Pittsburgh here in the first.
Oh.
And then a service error for the Panthers. That's their first. Well, you know, Kayla Lund will, yeah, she'll find her game, Katie. I mean, she's the ACC Player of the Year for the 2nd time. First team all-conference for her 3rd straight year. She's too good of a player. She'll figure it out here, but it's now a 5-point lead for Minnesota in the first set. Oh, good swing for Minnesota. Another point for the Gophers. Samity.
And it's such a great luxury, Eric. In the moment of trouble, when you're running, just as Schaffmaster was off the court, just to be able to pop the ball up high in front of the 10-foot line and allow somebody like Stephanie Samity to go up and get it, has to be such a great feeling as a setter.
Good dig by Wennis, who had 8 digs in the sweep against Georgia Tech. Oh, good save, diving in by Browski. And it results in a point for Pittsburgh.
Great defensive play by Browski with the pancake. Now you're starting to see Pittsburgh start to make some good defensive plays here. Got a block at the net. Down by 5 here. Can you just eat into this deficit? Oh. 2-shoot! I thought you were gonna beat me to it. I was waiting for you.
Well, we were talking about the fact that there's a 6'3" setter, and Katie loves the 2-shoot. Of course, Katie was not a 6'3" setter, but
yeah,
she played bigger.
5'9", you have the 2-shoot. 6'3", you can throw down, you can have your way at the net, but a lovely dish by Schaffmaster there.
It really is a great mix here for Minnesota. We talked about Wennis with the dig. Schaffmaster's also a freshman. Kilkelly's a sophomore. She has stepped up with Cece McGraw's injury. Rubright's a sophomore. Landfair, a freshman. Mix that in with Pittman and Samity. You're in the practice court with 2 outstanding players every single day. The culture just taking off and continues to grow for Minnesota, and the lead continues to grow for the Gophers, now up by 6 in the first.
And you see the passion from Reagan Pittman as well as Stephanie Samity. Pittman's a redshirt senior, Samity's a senior. Yes, they technically have another year of eligibility due to COVID-19, but they're on the clock. They know that. They made it to a Final Four a year ago. It didn't end in the result that they wanted. They have their sights set on a national title, and they've got the pieces to be able to do it.
Violation called on Minnesota. Will give the point to Pittsburgh. Minnesota, national runner-up in 2004, searching for that elusive first NCAA title. They made it to 6 national semifinal appearances. Trying to get to a regional final today. Trying to go deep with that, but not finding the mark. Landfair with an error for Minnesota, keeping Pittsburgh alive in this set.
And how do you capitalize if you're Pittsburgh? You get an unforced error from Landfair. Can you capitalize and string together a couple more points here? Make a push.
That's going to miss the mark. So another point for the Panthers, maybe trying to build a little momentum here within 3 late. Well, Minnesota had been pretty clean, but they've made back-to-back errors, and they're now hitting at 222. They're spending a lot of time well above 300 in this set. Now they'll get one back here.
And you can see Dan Fisher upset with that situation. You got a great serve. Shaftmaster was on the run, well behind the 10-foot line, bump setting Landfair. They're out of system. You want to be able to get that dig and run back in transition, and unfortunately, Browski just unable to get a platform on it.
5th kill for Landfair to lead Minnesota. Minnesota had the block, but couldn't get the point. Pittsburgh back within 3. Big spot here for the Panthers in the first. Bakke with the serve. Minnesota calmly goes about their business. They set the All-American Samity, who gets the kill.
Great job in serve receive, getting the first ball termination. It's 3 kills for Samity. She's got a block on the day as well.
Minnesota with 3 blocks in this first set, and now they've got their 3rd service error of the first set.
If you're Minnesota,
we'll check out.
If you're Minnesota, you're in the driver's seat here, but you don't want to give away free points, especially life into Pittsburgh right now. You want to seal the deal as efficiently as possible.
Kylie Levers, redshirt senior from Washington, Pennsylvania. The lefty serves. And Pittsburgh's got another point, keeping hope very much alive here in this first set. And now that forces Minnesota to use their first timeout with the pressure getting turned up.
Great job by Chi Inde stepping in there, closing the block with Sabrina Starks to go up against Shea Rubright. Really nice job, heads up, not leaving her middle blocker on an island, but stepping in there to help out. Gets the block, and now it's a game of 2.
6 of the last 8 points have gone to the Panthers. Remember, Minnesota had a couple of good runs in this first set. A 6-0 run, a 5-0 run. They had a 16-10 lead. Looks like they were going to run away with that first set, but this is a Pittsburgh team. Even though they look tight a couple of moments in this first set, the fact, as you talked about before, Katie, when they got past the second round for the first time in program history, and Dan Fisher said a great moment for everyone. The coaching staff had been working on it, but it was meaningful for the players because maybe they were playing not to lose in the past, but against Utah, they went out and tried to win and beat Utah, and they did so convincingly, and maybe that's part of the message for Fisher during this first set. Play loose, play free, play with house money, go out there and play like you did the other night.
That's exactly right, because in this moment, you're not expected to win. Yes, it's great that you made it to the regional semifinals for the first time ever. Continue on this run. Keep it alive. Upset Minnesota. Believe that you can do it because no one else does. And maybe that's the messaging that they need to hold on to rather than getting a little bit tight or worrying about their nerves early on in set 1. I feel like we've seen them kind of settle in, though, throughout the entirety of this set, which has been good to see. It'll be interesting to see how set 1 plays out here right in front of us.
After the Minnesota timeout, Levers to serve. And again, Minnesota comes out of that timeout. They feed it to Rollins, who gets the kill, and now it's set point for the Gophers.
It's a great pass by Jenna Winnis out of the back row that allows Schaffmaster to push the pace there to get it to Rollins. Jenna Winnis has stepped into a role as a back row player in the absence of CeCe McGraw and others, and she's done a really nice job out of the backcourt, passing and defending.
Chance to end the set right here, and Rollins does it. So after Pittsburgh made a late push in the first set, Minnesota fights back at the end, and Big Ten teams are 22 for 22 in sets played so far in the NCAA tournament. Minnesota wins at 25-21 to take set one in the best of five. So the Golden Gophers, the number 3 seed, trying to make it to another regional final. Pittsburgh trying to reach the regional final round for the first time in program history. Gophers take set one, set two next. Minnesota representing the Big Ten. Big Ten's been the big story in this tournament so far. 25-21 in set number one. Wisconsin swept BYU last night in the first regional semifinal game to improve to 17-0 on the season. Nebraska takes on Baylor later. Penn State will be in action. Ohio State, remarkable turnaround. They'll be in action. Purdue against Oregon. They have 6 teams, and they have not lost yet a set in the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely wild.
You know, we were talking before we came on the air here, Katie, back in your days playing for Louisville in the ACC, and you'd go into the NCAA tournament. You know, you always thought you were ready, but you go up against some of these Big Ten teams, and they just played a little differently, didn't they, back in your day? And carrying over to this day, I should say.
They did, and you look at that graphic and you see the 6 teams, the luxury that they have, and while it is tough, they play each other every single night, night in, night out. They're playing the same caliber of competition, and while you might get beat up in conference play because everybody is in the top 10 or the top 15, you learn how to win and how to play against the best. And so when you get into the NCAA tournament, it usually bodes well. And while these 6 teams beat up on each other in the regular season this spring, look how well they've all benefited from that challenging schedule. They haven't dropped a set, which is just marveling. It's miraculous and a testament to how good these 6 teams are.
All 6 seeded in the top 16 this year. We'll see if form holds here. This is the first of 7 matches being played here on Sunday to set up the showdowns on Monday, the 4 games to decide the teams that will play here in Omaha in the national semifinals. A couple of early points for Pittsburgh to get things started here in set number 2. One of the key things when you look at what happened in set 1 for Pittsburgh compared to what went right against Utah, the errors jump out to you, right, Katie?
They do, just purely taking care of the ball, which is one of the controllables on your side. Unfortunately for Pitt, they had 8 errors in set 1. Against Utah, they had 8 errors in the span of 3 sets. So on Thursday night, they were locked in, taking care of the ball, whether that's from the service line or the attack line, not allowing many aces. So far in set 1, we didn't see them take care of the ball as well, and I think that's why you saw the result that you did.
Landfair got caught up a little bit, couldn't make clean contact. And Pittsburgh's on top 3-1. Oh, Rollins, I beg your pardon. Rollins with the mishit.
A little bit of a mistiming there. Rollins was already well into her approach when the set came at her, and so she kind of had to adjust midair. Just a little bit of mistiming there, miscommunication between the setter and the hitter.
Kayla Lund, who's turned into a pretty good server, but she'll lose her serve pretty quickly here as Samity gets the kill for Minnesota.
And it all starts with the pass. I've been so impressed with Jenna Winnis. We don't see the first contact there in that replay, but it starts with Jenna Winnis putting that ball right on top of Melanie Schaffmaster's head. She has all 3 options in the front row. She goes right back to Samity for the kill.
There's a swing and a kill for Ende. Remember, she had the first 3 kills of the match for Pittsburgh. Quiet since then. That's kill number 4 for her in this match.
If Pitt can stay in system, whether that's in serve receive or from a defensive standpoint, then you'll start to see these setters be able to move the ball around freely to Inde on the right side or back to the middles, where we saw Chiamaka Wokolo have a lot of success when she checked in late in set 1.
Second service error for Pittsburgh brings Minnesota within a point. They took set 1 25-21. They hit 235 in the first set. And Katie talked about the errors for Pittsburgh that impacted the Panthers, hitting just 0-77 in set 1. Good diving save to stay in the point, but then Pittsburgh puts it away.
There she is again. Oh, yeah. Happy about it on the sideline. Wokolo with a nice swing there.
Sophomore from Columbus, Ohio, who had just 1 kill in the sweep of Utah, already has 4 kills, hitting .600 against Minnesota. And a good rip from Taylor Landfair, as she has her team high 6th kill. So Reagan Pittman, first team All Big Ten for a 3rd time. Leading the team in aces, puts it into play. Oh, good block. Wokolo is there at the net. Teaming up with Lockwood. Yeah, do those push-ups. Double them up for that.
The levers go all the way down, I'm not sure. Nose to ground, levers. Phenomenal block. Jordan Lockwood's feeling a great job by Wokolo, getting all the way out in front, recognizing that they were going to set Samity in that back row attack. Heads up play.
And that block doesn't work out as well this time for Pittsburgh, so the push-ups will have to wait. Katie's criticism of the push-ups will have to wait.
Just saying. Accountability, that's all. We're accountability partners.
Seems like someone who's been called on that back in the day.
Heard it a time or two.
Point for Pittsburgh. So Ifaki ready to serve for the Panthers, trying to even it up at a set apiece after dropping set 1. Blocked back and a point for Starks.
And now you're starting to see Pittsburgh's block come on. And it's a huge help, not only for the backcourt defenders, but just getting inside Minnesota's heads, just making them think about it just a little bit in the fact that Pitt's had success at the net the last few points.
So it's a timeout called here by Minnesota. Second set, Gophers took set 1. Pittsburgh building a little momentum with the lead in set number 2. 25-21 Minnesota in the first, but Pittsburgh on top 8-5, forcing an early timeout from Minnesota. Katie George, what jumps out to you? What's a little different here in this second set?
Well, I think first and foremost, Pittsburgh's taking care of the ball much better than we. Oh, and I just jinxed her. Sorry about that, Zoe Faki. Right on cue. Pittsburgh has limited the unforced errors. They had 8 in set 1. You're shooting yourself in the foot, and you're not doing yourself any favors by just giving away points to a very good Minnesota team. And then secondly, I would say net play has improved for Pittsburgh. We've seen a couple of blocks already in the second set. That needs to continue.
Off the fingers and a point for Pittsburgh. CHI Health Center in Omaha, regional semifinal round of the 2020 NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship, played in the spring of 2021. Eric Freed, Katie George with you. Start of a big day, 7 matches that you can find on the ESPN app, and matches as we go along be checking in on ESPNU and checking the studio because this is just the start of Katie George's long day's journey. And tonight we'll be on the Louisville, Washington game after this match. And then Katie will be in the studio with Sam Gore to talk about everything in the NCAA volleyball tournament. There's a kill for Minnesota to make it a 9-7.
The question is, by 10 o'clock tonight, will Sam and I be in studio talking about Minnesota moving on or Pittsburgh moving on? With that kind of kill from Sammy, woo, watch out.
Ende can't handle the block, and a point for Pittsburgh.
Nice job by Ende recognizing, yep, I've got 4 hands in front of me. No worries, I'm just gonna bury it through. Could be dangerous. That time worked out for her in her favor.
Point Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's bench, Pittsburgh fans, not thrilled with the no double call there.
I mean, how do you stop that?
Well, I don't know, it went between her legs, so is that called a nutmeg in volleyball? I'm not sure.
That's one soccer term that could translate to any other sport, I
All
think.
sports.
Yes. That, say nutmeg, you know, right between the legs. 6 kills now for Samity. Not hitting at a great number so far, 158. Well below her season average of 282. Point for Pittsburgh, back up by 4.
And you're just waiting because you expect fully Minnesota to make a push here. When does it come and how does Pittsburgh handle it? Because right now, Pitt's throwing the first punch.
Oh, dropped in, but Pittsburgh was ready for it. Lund with a swing from the back. And then Minnesota had it fall in front, and Pittsburgh has bounced back after dropping set 1. And a timeout's going to be called again by Minnesota. Pittsburgh on top of Minnesota, 13-8. Minnesota trying to find an answer here. Pittsburgh, after the slow start, has bounced back here in the second.
Look at the difference in just the statistics, Eric. Pittsburgh in the first set, 077. Now they're hitting over 500, which is just remarkable. And then the complete opposite has happened for Minnesota, which you don't ever really see from this Minnesota team because they've got weapons all over the court. Pittsburgh has done a really nice job forgetting about set 1, not letting there be any carryover, coming back out, settling in from a serve-receive standpoint. The passers in the back row have done a really nice job keeping both Levers and KO in system so that they can run the variety of hitters as they choose. Inde has been phenomenal, as we've seen. Chiamaka Wokolo in the middle has also been a nice lift off of the bench. You expect Minnesota to respond. It's going to happen. It's just win here, and can Pittsburgh withstand it, or will they keep just rolling? Because right now they're off to a great start in set 2. Can they carry this momentum through?
So Minnesota has used their 2 timeouts here in this set. And out of the timeout, a service error will give the point to Minnesota. So 4 service errors now for the Panthers.
Good job here. Beautifully done by the setter. Holding with Wokolo. You expect her to set the middle. Both Minnesota blockers jump with the middle attack, and that leaves Vasquez Gomez on an open net. Clear as day, gets the kill. Really nice job there by Pitt's offense, holding with the middle and then throwing it out to the outside.
Akeo with the serve for Pittsburgh, up by 5 in the second. And that one will be deflected out of play and give the point to Pittsburgh.
Here's another look at the point that I'm talking about. You got levers that jump sets, but both blockers go up with Wokolo expecting it to be a quick one set, and instead she sends it to the outside. Great job by levers there, recognizing, seeing the block, feeling it, and going to the outside for an open net kill.
And Samity with the kill, trying to get her team fired up after delivering for Minnesota.
Minnesota was able to handle Georgia Tech in the different pushes that they made in the 3 sets that they played on Thursday. And Hugh McCutcheon had actually told us, Eric, he said, you know, Georgia Tech squeezed us. We had to earn our points late in those sets, and the pressure that we felt was a good thing. We needed to feel that pressure. I can only imagine what he's thinking right now, because the pressure is on for Minnesota in set 2 here.
And that is the first time that Minnesota in this set has scored when they've had the serve. They've held their serve for the first time this set.
And it comes on a kill from Landfair. If you see, she's got such a long arm swing there. She's almost on her way down as she's making contact, because she's still so high in the air at 6'5". Just makes it really hard to defend in time as a blocker, as well as the defender setting up behind that block.
Question is, can Minnesota build on a run right now? They've been unable to get it going, and hitting error for the Gophers there. They just have been unable to go on any runs. Remember, in the first set, they had a 5-0 run and a 6-0 run. Kept that pressure on throughout the set, won by 4. But Pittsburgh hasn't seen Minnesota go on runs like that here in this second set.
No, and as soon as Minnesota sides out, unfortunately, they follow up with an error of their own.
Going to call an error here on Pittsburgh, I think, although there is a little bit of a protest.
Dan Fisher was pointing to the lines judge. Wondered if he was going to go to the table to challenge it. Decides to withhold.
Haven't had a challenge yet. Each team receives 3 challenges per set. If it goes to a 5th set, 3 challenges per match rather. If it goes to a 5th set, there'll be an extra challenge added. Oh, good block there by Minnesota. There's the defense for the Gophers.
Nice job there by Rue Bright getting all the way out to block Kayla Lund, but that's tough. That's a big ask if you're Pittsburgh. You just sent 3 sets to the outside every single time to Kayla Lund. In that moment, understand she's working, but she's not getting a kill, so send the ball elsewhere. Give her a second to regroup, give her a breath, rather than just sending 3 in a row. I know she's your best chance to score so often, but mix in some other people in this moment.
Well, this is a unique moment in NCAA tournament history, of course. All the teams in one location for the tournament. It's not a 64-team, a 48-team field. There isn't the usual interaction between teams, you know, because they're trying to keep everybody safe, Katie. They're trying to sanitize between practices, trying to keep people separated, trying to keep everybody healthy. But you find ways to connect with teams, and that's something that Pittsburgh did with one of the teams in the tournament that they were kind of sharing some space with at a hotel. Listen in. Oh.
Maybe later.
Oh. Well,
well, I'm sure it was
we'll
very
see if
good.
we can work out the technical issues, but to paraphrase,
consider me intrigued. That's the tease I needed.
Pittsburgh left a note for Western Kentucky. Of course, Western Kentucky, one of the fun stories of the tournament so far, still going. They'll take on Kentucky to close out play 10 o'clock Eastern time tonight. But they had left them a note because their conference rooms were next to each other at their hotel, so they left them a note saying, congratulations, great job on your win, best of luck the rest of the way. So a nice
awesome
gesture left by Pittsburgh, but you have to leave it in notes. You can't go up to someone and say, congratulations, pat him on the back. So out of the timeout called, it's a point for Minnesota, and here come the Gophers now down by 2.
This was the push we expected. How does Pittsburgh now respond?
5-1 push right now by Minnesota. Make it 6-1. You know, Pittsburgh didn't have a receiving error in that victory against Utah. That's how clean they were, how good they were.
I think we jinxed both of these teams coming on air, mentioning how flawless they both played on Thursday in the round of 2. And now we've seen both of them match their errors already, their error total from Thursday's matches here today.
Then all of a sudden, Kayla Lund will just wind up and find the empty spot on the court and get a kill. That's her 6th. Well, first of all, I know you're a former player, played at a high level All-American. There are no such things as jinxes, but I know you don't believe that. Secondly, it was going to be impossible, really, to maintain that level, even though both these teams did it against good teams. You just mentioned a moment ago, that's blocked back by Pittsburgh and a point for the Panthers. Georgia Tech, we've seen Georgia Tech. That is a skilled team. That is a fun team to watch. And Minnesota had to play great, and they did. Pittsburgh knocking off Utah, which was a case of each team just raising their level a little bit more. In this match, really, Katie, just feels like, well, which team is going to play close to error-free volleyball the rest of the way? Because it's going to be impossible just to match that, it feels like, what we saw on Thursday.
Well, that's what great teams do to opponents, right? They make you think about it. They push you out of your comfort zone. Great swing there by Kayla Lund to take a 4-point lead. But great teams push opponents out of their comfort zone. They force them to make unforced errors. And that's what we're seeing both of these two teams do to one another. Minnesota did it to Pitt in set 1. Now we're seeing Pitt do it to Minnesota in set 2. And so to your point, what's going to give? Who's going to be able to play more clean for longer throughout the entirety of this match?
Oh, big point there for Minnesota. We had a good look there. You can see the look in Kayla Lund's eyes. We talked about how she struggled early, but now she's found her game, and you just can tell she wants the ball. She can't get the ball if Minnesota's coming up with plays like that. Taylor Landfair getting her 10th kill already in the double figures.
And that's been her biggest point of growth, her and Chinaza Inde. We spoke with Dan Fisher on a Zoom call yesterday or the day before, and he said, you know, both of them have admitted in years past maybe they haven't been calling for the ball, demanding for the ball in the big moments. And now they want to be the person to make the play when the team needs it. And that's why you see the urgency and the look in the eye of Kayla Lund or Chinaza Inde. And that's where these two have made the greatest strides in their game for this Pittsburgh team.
Long rally ended by the swing by Lund.
Just a testament, first off, to her mental wherewithal. She did not play well to start this match. That can immediately affect you mentally, and a player could go in the tank. But good for Kayla Lund saying, no, this isn't how today is going to go. I'm going to come back from this, and I'm going to start playing well and kick it into gear. She's done just that in set 2.
15 kills, 16 digs in the win against Utah. The slow start today, now in the past, as she has the last 3 kills for Pittsburgh, and they're up by 4. A diving bid to try to save it for Levers. Couldn't get there. Point Minnesota.
That's a couple times now that we've seen consistently Minnesota just dropping a tip right over top of the block. If you're Pittsburgh, you got to be expecting that. Be on your toes, ready to move forward to come make a play underneath the block.
Kelly with the serve. Lund has another one. Lund will head back to serve. Team high 32 aces this season for the senior from Pasadena. Oh, came inches away from getting her 33rd ace, but instead it's service error number 5 for the Panthers.
You never want to miss a serve past 20. You don't want to give away free points past 20.
Why is that? Just so close to the finish line of the match that's when you can't afford to make any mistakes?
You can't. You don't want to give away free points when you're that close. And yes, every point is important in a volleyball match, but there are more important points than some. After 20, you want to be flawless in terms of no unforced errors. Don't give anything away here. Play as efficiently as possible, and it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Remember that missed serve right there from Kayla Lund. Not something that we see happen often, but it is the risk reward that comes with an aggressive serve, certainly.
You're right, they're serving 21-17, but then the service error and then the kill by Rollins.
And now the block.
And now another point, the block for Rollins. Pittsburgh will use their last timeout here. So Ende has to get her contact lens back in. Well, to your point, Katie, you get to 20 and then you have a service error and then the door opens up 3 straight points, including that service error. Good block by Rollins after the kill a moment ago.
A solo block at that. Reagan Pittman was obviously working her best, driving to get out there to close it, but a great job by Rollins, recognizing I'm by myself. I need to drop in that right hand into the gap. She goes one-on-one there against Ende for a great block. She's 7 kills, hitting .455. She's been solid today for Minnesota, and you can see Pittsburgh's trainer working with Ende there, getting that contact back in so that she feels good. Obviously, seeing is very important, as you could imagine, to the game of volleyball or sports in general.
Ende with 6 kills. Lund now up to 9 kills. But the question is, can Minnesota continue this run? Pittsburgh's used their final timeout. 3-0 run now for Minnesota. Pittsburgh scored the first 2 points of this set, and they have not trailed at all here in set 2 after dropping set 1, 25-21.
If you're Pittsburgh here, can you come out of this timeout, put up a good serve receive ball, and run your offense efficiently to side out? First ball termination, get back on track to make a push.
Almost saved, but it's a kill for Ende and a key point for Pittsburgh coming out of that timeout.
And there you see it again from a KO. A hitter gets blocked. Yes, there was a timeout here in between, but she doesn't shy away from setting that hitter again, giving them another chance to go up and get a kill. Great job there. Excuse me, that was Levers who set up Ende there. But a good job going back to the hitter who just made the mistake or got blocked.
Answering back, Rollins is really stepping up here for Minnesota. That's 8 kills for her, hitting at a high percentage at 500, in fact. And now heading back to serve is the junior from Carrollton, Texas. Played very, very well last year, of course. Last season in the NCAA tournament, most outstanding player of the Austin region. Ende is there at the net. Pittsburgh 2 points away.
Great effort there, Eric. By Levers, it was a tight, tight pass. She's right up parallel against the net. She's able to pull it off. Inde hangs for a long time in the air, able to muscle and throw it through the block. Really nice job there. Just fighting against the net to stay out of it, to keep that point.
Alexis Akeo on to serve. Oh, good look at the kill by Samity.
Just unbelievable placement. You got a double block, a little window between the antenna and the outside hand, and coming out of the back row, she's still able to work it through.
Now, you heard the electronic whistle, and it looks like we're going to get a challenge here. Call on the court was a point for Minnesota. Well, Brett Myers will make his way across the court and use the video replay system. And they can look at a variety of things, of course. In, out, player contact, net violation, foot faults. Here's a review. You're allowed 3 challenges per match. 1 will be added, as I said before, if we get to a 5th set. It looked pretty clear cut on the Samity hit. The question probably would be, Katie, was there something earlier? Was there some contact with the net for Minnesota? And that's what Dan Fisher is protesting. It's a quick look because the official's making his way back across the court to the scores table to tell the scores and public address announcer. And we'll find out as well in a moment. And that's a point for Minnesota. So the Pittsburgh challenge is unsuccessful. And of course, we have seen at times too, because Pittsburgh's out of timeout, sometimes you'll use that challenge even if you know it's not going to go very well, if you need to buy 90 seconds or so for your team.
Without a doubt. Just give yourself a breather, a moment to recollect yourself, to settle in, say, hey, let's stay calm. All we need to do here, put up 1 good pass, side out, and then we're serving for set point.
Here is Reagan Pittman to serve for Minnesota. That one's going to be long, and Minnesota has come back to tie it up here in the second. I mean, who else would you want on the service line right now than the redshirt senior out of Spring Hill, Kansas? Fixture on the first team all Big Ten squad year after year, leading the team in aces this season.
She's such a complete player. Wow.
Well, it looked like that was going to be a great opportunity for Minnesota. Instead, it's a point for Pittsburgh, set point for the Panthers.
Good thing Rollins is all smiles, still loose after the chase down. That was a perfect moment for Minnesota. You get the roll shot. Pittsburgh's out of system. You take care of that, you're running your offense. Unfortunately, just can't control that first contact.
Vasquez Gomez with a short serve. Chance here for Pittsburgh. They go to Lund. Who else? She found the spot, and Pittsburgh holds on to take set number 2.
Great mental wherewithal by Pittsburgh. Minnesota pressed you. They tied it up at 23, but you were still able to stay calm and pull out the second set to tie this thing up 1-1. Great job by Pittsburgh getting it done.
So after dropping set 1, 25-21, Pittsburgh answers back to take it 25-23 in Omaha. Good response by Pittsburgh in what was a tight second set. The longest run for the Panthers was a 3-0 run, and every time Minnesota clawed back, and remember, Minnesota tied it up at 23, Pittsburgh had an answer, and they've evened it up. Little intermission break, banana break for most of the players for Pittsburgh as they get set for set number 3. So this is what's happened so far in our match. First set went to Minnesota. They hit 235 in set number 1, but hit 189 in set 2. Pittsburgh out hitting Minnesota in that second set. Panthers very good at 302. Kayla Lund had the slow start, but has come on as of late. She was a key player in that second set. And this is the first time a Big Ten team has lost a set in this year's tournament. They had won the first 22 sets they had played in, including Wisconsin's sweep last night of BYU in the first game of the regional semifinal round. So Pittsburgh is the first team to take a set from a Big Ten team, as they took set 2 25-23. As I mentioned, Wisconsin swept BYU. Here's a look at the right-hand bracket with Minnesota taking on Pittsburgh. Our next game is between Louisville and Washington. That should be a good one. Washington had a 5-set thriller against Dayton that they pulled out. And Louisville shooting for their second straight regional final appearance. Purdue will take on Oregon. Oregon very impressive in their win over Notre Dame in round 2. Brooke Nunaliver leading the Ducks in that match with 11 kills and 20 digs. And Kentucky will take on a Western Kentucky squad in the regional semis for the first time. The other matchups are Ohio State and Florida, Penn State and Texas, Nebraska taking on Baylor. Baylor survived a 5-setter with Pepperdine in round number 2, and they have to try to knock off a Nebraska team that knows how to get to the regional finals. They've won 8 in a row in this regional semifinal round. So that's a look at our brackets. By the end of today, we'll be down to 8 teams. There'll be 4 matches tomorrow starting at noon Eastern time on ESPN2. The winner of this game taking on the winner of Louisville, Washington, to get things started at noon on Monday. So you got that tough back-to-back. Let's take you through what's happened in this match. We start with Minnesota, Katie George. They won set 1, 25-21. It's not just Stephanie Samity, who is excellent, but Taylor Landfair stepped up in the first set, kept it going in the second set. She's got a total of 10 kills, and Adana Rollins has 8 kills to go with Samity's 8 kills.
You would expect Samity to be able to come out and get her kills. You want to be able to contain or slow her to some degree, and Pittsburgh's done that. Yes, she has 8 kills, but she also has 4 airs. She's hitting 154. Where the other points are coming from is Taylor Landfair and Adana Rollins. They have been phenomenal on the outside pins as well as moving it around. They're keeping Minnesota alive and in this game. Unfortunately, just too many errors plagued Minnesota in set 2. Can they come out, settle in again, refocus, and minimize those errors? Absolutely, we've seen them do it time and time again. But a great job by Pittsburgh here. Eric, had Pittsburgh led by as many as 5 points in set 2 and then allowed Minnesota to work themselves all the way back into the game and win set 2, I think that would have been devastating. Great job by Pittsburgh fighting back when things were tied up at 23.
I know, that's why I was like,
so you see,
no, and I just put my hand out, so.
Replay.
Yeah, we're going to replay the point. The point was played pretty quickly, and I think you could hear one of the officials saying that he was saying no, they weren't ready to play, but the ball was put into play. Pittsburgh got the point, so you could see Kayla Lund talking with Patty Rolfe because it's like, wait a minute, we just won that point. Why are we doing a do-over? And you see the 2 thumbs up. They're going to replay the point. So still some protest here from the Pittsburgh bench. And there's the whistle, and now we're ready to play. Back where we started, set 3. All blocked back, and that first point goes from Pittsburgh over to Minnesota thanks to the replay.
Unfortunately for Pittsburgh, just a trap set there. Yes, you're out of system, you're on the run, but that set went a little bit too tight. Kayla Lund had to reach for it. Unfortunately, she had nowhere to go with that double block in front of her.
Oh, and a good block there at the net. Samity for Minnesota.
Good response here by Minnesota after dropping set 2, coming right out of the gate with back-to-back blocks.
Trying to save it, but unable to get there is Levers, and 3 quick points to start the set for the Golden Gophers.
Volleyball is such a game of momentum. Back and forth we go. You feel it shift from team to team across the net. And right now, Minnesota's the aggressor.
And a violation called on Pittsburgh, so 4 straight points for Minnesota, and this will lead to an early timeout called by the Panthers. So after dropping set 2, Minnesota comes out firing in the third, even at a set apiece in Omaha. Well, you see what happened in the first 2 sets. In set number 3, it is already a 4-0 lead for Minnesota over Pittsburgh. Panthers took the early timeout, try to slow down this run by the Golden Gophers. And another block, 3rd block already this set of the 5 points won by Minnesota.
Right now, Eric, you're seeing Pittsburgh struggle from a passing standpoint. We've seen 5 passes that have taken Lexi and Levers behind the 10-foot line. They're on the run, and unfortunately, when you're not passing well, it makes your offense more predictable. A more predictable offense leads to easier blocks, and that's what we've seen from Minnesota. They've been good in their block setup, and they've gotten a couple here. Net violation there by Minnesota to let Pittsburgh essentially off the hook here early.
So on the violation, it's the first point of the set for Pittsburgh. Set 3 of the best of 5. Winner moving on to the regional finals to take on the winner of Washington and Louisville. Pittsburgh has never made it to this round of the tournament before. First time playing in the regional semifinal round. Minnesota a fixture in this round. Pittsburgh trying to take that next step. And Minnesota has got the point back to go back up by 5.
It's another kill by Adana Rollins. 10 kills. Now matching the team high with Taylor Landfair. She's only got 2 errors on the day. She's hitting .571.
And that serve floats a little bit long. Service error number 4 for Minnesota. So a service error and a net violation accounting for the 2 points so far here in this 3rd set for Pittsburgh. We'll keep an eye on that Pittsburgh passing that Katie just mentioned a moment ago. Block goes out of play, and Minnesota picks up the point.
Nice block set up there, just turned a little too far out with the hands facing outside the court. Need to shift those back in towards the court to keep that block in play.
Well, that one is a good clean swing and a point for Kayla Lunds, now with 11 kills.
And we haven't seen Pitt run the back row attack a ton today, but that was textbook. Great set, allows Kayla Lund to come out of middle back, go up and get it. Great placement there right on the line.
Akeo serves. And a good kill from Jordan Lockwood. First year with this Pittsburgh program after playing at very high level at Navarro College, won a national junior college championship. Now contributing for Pittsburgh. That one goes long, point Pittsburgh. And we have a challenge here by Minnesota. For the moment, it's a 3-0 run for Pittsburgh. Point for the Panthers. And they'll go to the monitor, and if they're looking at the slow motion at the net, that means they're trying to challenge if there was contact at the net. Was this ball tipped by Pittsburgh? generally are very difficult to call and overturn.
Well, if you watch, as soon as Landfair makes contact, Minnesota players come down and they immediately start calling for the touch, turning to Hugh McCutcheon, which resulted in him calling for the challenge. You see Shaftmaster there raising her hand, signaling touch, touch, touch.
Yeah, I mean, we've got net cam right there. We're a couple feet away on that vantage point, right in front of the lead umpire, Patty Rolfe. And again, usually not enough to turn things over. Point to Pittsburgh will mean the call stands, and that is the case. So Minnesota has used the challenge.
Tricky, Eric, because what we're seeing as broadcasters, what the folks at home are seeing is the same things that the officials are. And so often you feel like you hear a touch on the play court, but you can't see it from the video evidence.
Free ball hammered back by Lockwood.
She's been a great addition to this Pittsburgh team. You mentioned she came from a JUCO, Navarro in Texas. JUCO Player of the Year, as well as a national champion. Dan Fisher wondered how she'd acclimate at Pittsburgh, and he said it took some time. In the fall, she was very inconsistent. She didn't quite understand the level that she needed to play at every single day to compete in the ACC and at the D1 level. Just from what he asks from his players in the gym, and he said this spring she's been so consistent and has been a huge, huge lift for this Pittsburgh offense.
That point ends a 4-0 run for Pittsburgh. Pitt, Minnesota back up by 2. Well, Lockwood played really well on Thursday. That's one of the areas where a bit of a benefit with the split season, as that one is a service error for Minnesota for Pittsburgh, playing the 8 matches in the fall, then a little bit of a reset, and then a spring season, and Lockwood certainly elevated her game in the spring. Vasquez Gomez serving with Pittsburgh down by 1.
Minnesota out of system.
That one will miss, and Pittsburgh, after dropping the first 5 points of this third set, has tied it at 8.
And that's where we're starting to see some uncharacteristic play from Minnesota. Yes, they were out of system because it was a great serve by Vasquez Gomez. Usually Minnesota is much better at controlling out-of-system situations, just taking care of the ball.
Pittsburgh can't get there. It's a point for Minnesota to put them back in front. Well,
nice
you touched
job.
on it. You touched on it in set 2, Katie, when Pittsburgh was trying to put it away and Minnesota came back to tie it. If Minnesota had gotten over the hump and taken that second set, would that have broken Pittsburgh's spirit? But instead, Pittsburgh fought back. They fought back here, so they know they can hang with Minnesota out of the mighty Big Ten here today. The question is, can you do it for 4 sets or 5 sets, which you talked about before facing Big Ten teams?
Can you outlast the level of your opponent? And we also talked about who can play cleaner for longer. And right now you've seen both these teams have lulls where they make error after error rather than taking care of the ball. Nice job by Lockwood there, just placing that tip right over, working it through for the point. I do, Eric, think had Minnesota won set 2, it would have been devastating mentally for Pittsburgh. They had controlled the entirety of set 2. They were up by as many as 5 points. They were dominating that set, quite frankly. And then all of a sudden, Minnesota comes roaring back, ties it at 23. Had Pitt not been able to pull that out, I think it would have been the dagger, and I don't know how they'd be playing in set 3.
Oh, good job with the dig from Pittsburgh. And that's the thing we're seeing, although that one is deflected out of play. That Pittsburgh's fighting hard, staying in points. trying to build off the momentum of the sweep over Utah in round number 2. That breakthrough victory for the Pittsburgh program. Panthers, one of 4 ACC teams in the tournament, along with Louisville, Notre Dame, and Georgia Tech. That one misses the mark, and it's a point for the Gophers.
Now, if you're Pittsburgh, you can't let Minnesota off the hook here. You can't start making errors of your own, giving away easy points.
That's one way to do it. Find Kayla Lung, let her do her thing.
Great set by Akeo, fast in tempo. Lund's able to go right into the seam of the block, smiling for good reason. If Pittsburgh's to win this game and advance to the regional finals, Eric, Kayla Lund needs to play like the 2-time ACC Player of the Year that she is. She didn't start this game hot, but she settled in, she worked her way back in, and now she's starting to perform and produce for this Pittsburgh offense.
Set
Great
back for
job.
Lund and another point.
Heads up play there. Samity knows exactly what happened too. Kayla Lund takes some off of it, doesn't go power. She just swipes it off of Samity's outside hand to tool the block for the point.
13 kills now for Lund and a service error. That's one thing too. If this is going to be an extended match, if Pittsburgh's going to hang in there, they've got to eliminate the service errors. You said the passing has to clean up. Remember, Minnesota gave some points to Pittsburgh early in this set after the 5-0 lead. Net violation and some errors.
Great dig.
Ende couldn't get it. Point for the Gophers.
And just like that, one missed serve turns into a 3-point lead for Minnesota. Pittsburgh was starting to close that gap, closing that gap. Levers misses her serve, and the momentum shifts back to Minnesota.
Oh, change up after the block was there the first time for Minnesota. Ende goes with the finesse instead of the power.
So smart, but Donna Rollins read it. She knew exactly what was happening. She actually came under the block to make that play, and unfortunately, Reagan Pittman reached back trying to get the ball up into the air. A little bit of a miscommunication there. Rollins overcuts it, unable to make the play.
Oh, it's going to be an ace. First ace of the match for Pittsburgh.
Talk about a drop float serve. Wow. Kayla Lund makes contact. That ball looks like it's coming at your chest, and all of a sudden it just drops straight in front of you for the ace.
Lund gets the first ace of the match, the 33rd of the season for the senior. Team high in that category. The timeout is called here by Minnesota. Their lead down to 1 here in set number 3. So Hugh McCutcheon huddles up his team. Certainly with the firepower coming out of a power conference to make it back to the national semifinals, where they played in 2019, getting there for the 3rd time in the last 5 seasons. Of course, they've had great success in his 9 seasons there. You touched on Dan Fisher's success in his 8 years at Pittsburgh, with the win on Thursday night, one of the great highlights for the program to get to this point. Chance to make that next step after making it to the regional semifinals for the first time. And he was really thrilled for some of his leaders, Kayla Lund and Chineza Ende, after that Thursday game, because he pointed out last year they were playing at home, trying to get to the national semifinals, played in Pittsburgh. That they all admitted the nerves were there against Cincinnati. Chineza Ende talked about it after the Utah win. She came out, in his words, as a player possessed against Utah. They're going to need a little bit more of that here to make it to the regional finals, because they'll have to get by Minnesota. Kayla Lund coming off the ace. Dug out nicely by Levers. And Samity skies and hammers it home.
Great job by Samity going into the block. It's not pressed over. She's able to work it through. Nice dig by Kylie Levers, though, in the backcourt off of Reagan Pittman's quick one set. Just bodied the ball to keep it in play.
Samity becomes the first Gopher to reach, the third Gopher to reach double digits in kills, joining Landfair and Rollins. And another point for Minnesota coming out of the timeout.
Here's the issue with that. If you're going to set somebody tight, everybody needs to be sucked in under coverage, ready for the block to come back at you. And right there, they left Indy on an island. She throws the ball up into the block. Nobody's there behind her to play out of it.
Deflected off of Minnesota. Ende the kill.
Nice job by Indy, finding hands on the outside, tooling that block just right outside of the reach of Rachel Kilkelly, the libero, back and left back.
They try Ende again, set perfectly for the kill.
Whoa, whoa, rightfully so. Somebody check the hardwood. Is there a splinter? It was a tight set. She was either going to get an unbelievable kill or she was going to get roofed straight down. It was only one of those two options. Luckily, she gets through the block there for an unbelievable kill.
I'd say option A is the one that's preferred there. Hustle play goes for naught for Pittsburgh, and Minnesota gets the point.
So smart by Reagan Pittman, mixing in a shot. She's kind of had a quiet offensive evening, or afternoon, I should say. 3 kills on 6 attempts. She's there to block balls. Hugh McCutcheon says that. You know, our middle blockers, yes, we set them enough to keep defenses and blockers honest, but nice job by Reagan mixing in that tip right over top of the block. And anything you can do, Eric, you know I can do better.
Pittsburgh back within 1 as Akeo comes in to serve.
Wokolo said, okay, if you're gonna make us work defensively, I'm gonna make you work. Come get this one.
Landfair adds to her team best kill total now with 13. That matches what Lund's done for Pittsburgh. Here's Reagan Pittman to serve for Minnesota. They took set 1, 25-21. Pittsburgh took set 2, 25-23. Minnesota scored the first 5 points of set 3. Pittsburgh came back to tie it, but now Minnesota getting late here in set 3. They've stretched it out to a 3-point lead.
And
forcing
a great
Pittsburgh
serve.
to take a timeout.
Sorry about that. Great serve by Reagan Pittman. I mean, she drops it right into the path of Lexus Akeo, who's running up from the back row to get to her spot, her base position at the net to set her offense. Unfortunately, catches her off guard. She's unable to make a play on it because Reagan just drops it right over top of the net. And that's what's so great about a middle blocker like Reagan Pittman. You know, so often we see these players specialize in one area. You're either a great blocker, but you can't bring it from an attacking standpoint, or you're an unbelievable hitter that can score left and right, but maybe you're not the greatest blocker and you're a liability that opponents come after you and they try to tee off on you. Well, Reagan Pittman is as complete as they come, and that's why Hugh McCutcheon says she's so unique, because she plays the entire game. Not only is she a great blocker, 7 blocks on the day, yes, she can swing with all her might and attack and make kills left and right, but she's also a great server. And then when she keeps her serve, she can still defend out of left back. And so when you have that kind of completeness, you don't want to take those kind of players off the court. And I think that that's what separates Reagan Pittman from other middle blockers in the country.
9th on the all-time list in blocks at Minnesota. The All-American coming off the service ace, the 3rd of the match for Minnesota. Pittsburgh using the timeout. Even at a set apiece in the best of 5, with a spot in the regional finals tomorrow against the winner of Louisville and Washington on the line. Pittman returns to serve, trying to get Minnesota to 20 here in this 3rd set. Oh, big rip on the far side by Jordan Lockwood.
Great pass, great set by Lexis Akeo, holding the block, but pushing that tempo. It's so fast. Look how fast she shoots this out to the outside. Lockwood has the big gap in between the two blockers. She's able to go rip it right through the seam.
Lockwood had 1 kill in the 1st set, has 3 here in this 2nd set. 1 kill in the first 2 sets, I should say. That one will trickle over the tape and give a point to Minnesota.
Landfair able to just sneak it through for the kill. Schaffmaster smiling about it. Now if you're Pittsburgh, can you come out, side out immediately and go on a run to tie this thing back up?
The answer is yes. 4-point lead for Minnesota. Samity the kill. Oh, good quick set in the middle. Colo puts it down. Key point for Pittsburgh there to stop the Minnesota run.
Nice job by Pittsburgh responding with a good pass. KO right up on the quick set to Wokolo, who's found success on that.
Zoe Faki on the serve for the Panthers. A little miscommunication for Minnesota. That opens the door for the Panthers. Players all over the floor right now, getting tripped up over each other, and it results in a point for Minnesota.
Pittsburgh a little out of sorts there, a little collision there at the front between Starks and Lockwood. Pittsburgh now on the ropes here in set 3.
10 blocks for Minnesota, 5 coming here in this 3rd set. And they hammer another one home, and Minnesota pulling away here in the 3rd.
Good awareness by Shea Rube right there, recognizing overpass coming. You don't have to do anything cute or fancy with it. Just go straight up, 2 hands, throw it down. Free ball situation.
Lockwood gets the point. A couple good plays by Minnesota at the block and with the dig to keep it alive, but only for this to close it off from Lockwood.
Great job by Lockwood going thumb up, sharp, sharp cross inside that 10-foot line. Even tiptoed because she knew she was pretty tight to the net there.
Lever serves. Set point, Minnesota. Kelly serving, trying to put Minnesota up 2-1. Ende with the kill to keep Pittsburgh going here in the third. Kayla Lund will head back to serve for Pittsburgh here, trying to fight off another set point. Off the hands and out of play, and the point goes to Minnesota. Set number 3 goes to Minnesota.
Great job by Minnesota, having full control here in set 3. Great dig by Shaftmaster. Kelly gets the assist. Samity, the exclamation point. 25-20 Minnesota in set 3 for a 2-1 advantage.
Minnesota Golden Gophers up 2-1. They jumped in front 5-0 in set number 3. Pittsburgh came back, but Minnesota ends up hitting 367 in that set. So Pittsburgh now with their backs against the wall, down 2-1, but that's a place where they may feel comfortable putting that chip on their shoulder, that underdog role, trying to fight back. So we'll see what the Panthers can do after hitting 150 in that third set. Golden Gophers with a win would reach the regional finals for the 9th time. Pittsburgh with a win would reach the regional final round for the first time. So as we get ready for the 4th set, Katie Day, you've been in this position. ACC team taking on a Big Ten team in the NCAA tournament, heading to a 4th set. What's the most important thing for Pittsburgh here as they get ready for the 4th?
Yeah, sadly, I have been in this position multiple times. My freshman year, we lost to Michigan in 4. My sophomores and senior year, we lost to Illinois both times in 4. And so my question for Pittsburgh right now, your back's against the wall. Minnesota has been the aggressor for 2 of these 3 sets. Do you have another response in you? Can you put together another clean set to force this thing to 5? 5th sets, anything can happen. I mean, you've seen it. You've already called a few of them in this NCAA tournament in and of itself. So I really want to see how Pittsburgh comes out of this timeout, this break in between sets, and responds out of the beginning. We saw in set 2, they threw the first punch, and they led for the entirety of set 2. Can you do that again? It's going to start with Kayla Lund and Chinaza Ende on the outside.
Those 2 leading Pittsburgh in kills with 13 each. They also have combined for 12 errors. So it's going to have to take some clean play from Pittsburgh here against Minnesota, the number 3 seed in this tournament. Pittsburgh unseeded. Hugh McCutcheon, the Minnesota head coach, was one who pointed out that perhaps Pittsburgh should have been seeded. When you look at their body of work after their 4-4 fall season, they did not lose a match in the spring, but Pittsburgh winning 2 matches to get to this point to take on Minnesota, who gets the first point of this set. Rollins with the kill.
And the Band-Aid handoff to Hugh McCutcheon as well.
No Band-Aids needed for her game right now. 11 kills, just 2 errors for Rollins, hitting at .474.
Are you kidding? You're such a pro. What a sports transition from you.
Yeah, said the person who started the day on ESPN Radio, is doing 2 matches with me, and then we'll be in studio with Sam Gore all night till after midnight, by the way, Eastern time, just to prepare you, broadcast professional. Good kill by Ende. It's 1-1.
I'm just trying to keep up with these women. My goodness. They've got all the energy in the world, clearly.
Oh, that was a good reaction by Vasquez Gomez. Deflected at the net to keep it in play here for Pittsburgh, and a point for Pittsburgh, and it's Vasquez Gomez who gets Peck up on her feet, settles herself and gets the kill.
Great job covering herself off the first attack, allowing her team another chance, go at it, and then she gets the kill working it through the block.
That's another kill for Rollins.
She's been so steady today. 12 kills, 2 errors on 21 attempts. She's hitting 500. So steady, so consistent, and I think what Hugh McCutcheon said about Rollins and her game is 6 rotation player, kind of flies under the radar. Good job by Starks there working it through, but Adana Rollins flies under the radar. Maybe doesn't get the recognition that she deserves on this team because they have so many stars. They have Stephanie Samity, soon to be 4-time All-American. They have Taylor Landfair, who is the top prospect coming out of high school. Rollins is this glue, Hugh McCutcheon says. She's what holds everybody together. Unfortunately gets blocked there, but she's had a phenomenal afternoon. I feel like it always happens like that. I'm just hyping someone up and then just something bad happens.
You know what, but
in
you
that
weren't
moment.
wrong with the hype. But sometimes the other team says, I'm not going to believe the hype right now. And I'm going to get up there and get a key
Katie.
block. Yeah.
Let's see if we can lose Katie's
just-
train of thought.
It was just a really good play by Pittsburgh defensively, but now Minnesota answers right back to bring it within 1. Oh, Rollins has been on a great run, Katie. I mean, this is 5 straight matches now with double-digit kills. 5th straight match, she's hit 333 or better. That's going to head out of play, and it'll give another point to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh needs to win this set to force a 5th and deciding set. If Minnesota wins this set, they advance to the regional finals tomorrow, noon Eastern time. Match you'll see on ESPN2 between the winner of the Louisville-Washington match that will follow 45 minutes after the completion of this match.
What a sky by Stephanie Samity out of the back row. Watch the movement, coming around. Great setup by Shaftmaster. I mean, look where she ends her jump, right at the net. It's almost like she's attacking from the front row. So dynamic, 14 kills, 5 blocks on the day. You cannot ever lose track of where she is on the court.
Big Ten leader in kills per set. Oh, good block by Minnesota to get the point.
So freshman Melanie Shaftmaster going head-to-head against Jordan Lockwood. Shaftmaster, 6'3". Hugh says she can dish the rock. She's a great defender, good server. As a freshman, it's really hard to learn the skill of blocking, but at 6'3", she's already a natural blocker. Hugh says we haven't had to give anything up with Melanie Shaftmaster. She plays every aspect of the game as well as you would like.
Lockwood won the battle there at the net with Shaftmaster to get the point for Pittsburgh. Two bodies down for Pittsburgh and give the point to Minnesota. Tied at 6 in the 4th. Shaftmaster back to serve. And that one will go to Lunds.
That was a hectic back and forth. Couple of quick touches, Good defense. Pittsburgh stays calm. Gets the set out to Lund. Goes right out of Rubright's inside hand.
Good block, great save, deflected by Minnesota. Point Pittsburgh.
Great effort by Alexis Zakeo. My goodness, gets a finger, a hand, a fist, just under that ball to keep it in play. Sabrina Starks turns around, is ready for it, throws it over. Yeah, you deserve to smile after that.
Oh, and an ace. Zoe Faki delivers the ace, and Pittsburgh is on top by 3 in the 4th. And a timeout is called by Minnesota. Pittsburgh needing to win this set, leading this set in Omaha. Back in Omaha, set number 4. Minnesota up on top 2-1, and there is certainly a theme you can follow here to see who won each set. Minnesota out hitting Pittsburgh in set 1. Big margin for Pittsburgh in set 2. Margin for Minnesota in set 3. So far, the early trend is for Pittsburgh here in set number 4. Pittsburgh's got a 9-6 lead here in this set. Zoe Faki ready to serve. After Minnesota used a timeout, leaving them with 1 here in this 4th set. And you come out of the timeout, what are you going to do? You're going to set your All-American. Samity with the kill.
Nice awareness by Samity and Shackmaster. Shackmaster's pushed a little bit far back towards that antenna. Samity just calls for it, says, I'm going to stay in front, I'm going to stay in front. Almost runs a quick 2-ball in front of the setter there, gets the kill cross court.
Starks misses the mark. Hitting error for Pittsburgh, point Minnesota. Second error for Starks, 24th for the Panthers. So we talked about hitting percentage maybe telling the story here. Got to avoid the hitting errors. And right now Pittsburgh is looking to their head coach Dan Fisher saying, why don't we challenge that? I don't know. Dan, a little reluctant maybe to use one here, knowing that the protest is, was it deflected at the net? And we saw before, these are tough to overturn. The call on the court is that it was hit long by Pittsburgh, so a point for Minnesota. Pittsburgh will challenge it, and we'll take our first look to see if anyone at the net for Minnesota made contact here. As Katie mentioned before, I mean, she's been there. She's been at the net, and you hear things. And players don't necessarily see something, but it sounded like it was hit by someone. It was clearly out. That can't be what they're looking at there, Katie. It's got to be something at the net that was tipped, correct?
Well, it looked to me as if Dan Fisher had a conversation with Kayla Lund as well as other players as soon as the attack was made, that she was calling for a touch. And she nodded her head, yes, there was a touch, and so that's why he walked over to the scores table and picked up the card. I'm just thankful that when I played, challenges didn't exist, because sometimes when you'd make a mistake, you'd kind of just look over your coach, I swear there was a touch, I swear there was a touch. Doesn't make an excuse for yourself. Well, now it actually matters if you tell your coach, yeah, no, there was a touch, you need to challenge it. There's actual implications on the line. Unfortunately, I think Samity's arm and hand is inside that ball unless it brushes her forearm or upper arm there. I'm not seeing it on the hand.
So back in your day, you always had that in your mind, like, oh no, they touched it. We just didn't have video replay to prove otherwise. Call is confirmed. But now, if you were playing today, it's like, Katie, remember that time you told me it was a touch, and then I used one of my 3 challenges, and it wasn't a touch?
Yeah,
you're
I feel
double
like,
in the
I feel
dog.
like
You're deeper in the doghouse.
yes, you're double in the doghouse. That's exactly right. You feel the wrath of your coach more so than you wanted.
Well, big point there for Pittsburgh. Even if the challenge is unsuccessful, Dan Fisher had a moment or two to talk it over with his team. They set the middle. Starks, who gets the kill.
Nice job by Starks, going up one-on-one against Rube right there. Sticking within her body line for the kill. Good response after Minnesota rattled off 3 quick points.
Pittsburgh back in front and serving with levers. Oh, good block by Starks. That's what she does so well at the net for the Panthers.
Here's another look here. Inde and Starks recognizing, getting out. Great united front there, up high, pressed over just in time.
So Inde and Starks will share the block. No blocking that shot. Samity skies high and puts it down for yet another kill. That's number 16 for her.
She's so impressive because she barely ever looks like she's breaking a sweat. And I know how hard she works, but she can cut the ball cross court like we just saw. She can thread the needle down the line. She can mix in a tip. She can swing out a system off the block like that. She's got so many shots. It just makes her so hard to defend because you never know what she's going to pull out.
Oh, another good dig by Minnesota. So 3 digs and a block so far to keep this point alive. And Ende makes sure she ends it going up high on Schaffmaster for the kill.
Great job by Pittsburgh, just staying steady, defending well, buying their time until they could get a really nice setup to Inde there. They capitalize on the free ball situation.
Oh, good block. That's Starks again at the net. Junior from Springfield, Nebraska, playing back in her home state and playing great right now.
Great effort by Starks. Her feet weren't quite there in front of Samity, but if you saw, she stretched out both arms and hands to close that seam to get that block. Another free ball.
And another chance for Starks.
Starks has added a great lift in the last, what, 4 or 5 plays, 4 or 5 points. She's getting it done at the net blocking. She's also been an attack option. She's up, she's ready. Good job by Alexis Akeo running her on the quick 1 set in front. Sabrina Starks, a big reason why Pitt has a 4-point lead.
It's a 5-1 run here for Pittsburgh, and Minnesota will use their final timeout. Now, Starks came up with a very efficient night against Utah, had 5 kills, had 556, had 6 blocks, threw in an ace for good measure. She's been on a run here in this set. Now for the match, 6 kills and 7 blocks for the junior. So Minnesota will try to settle things here. And Sabrina Starks keeps her game face on during the timeout. Hugh McCutcheon, see if his team has a response here.
We were in a similar situation in set 2. This is shaping up, actually looking very similar, Eric, in the fact that Pittsburgh has a control in the lead right now. It took Minnesota, what, around 18.19 for them to finally make that push to tie things up at 23. So you know a response is coming from Minnesota. It's in their DNA. Pittsburgh, are you going to be ready for it? Of course you are. You expect it. How do you respond when they throw that punch?
Starts with stopping this run right now if you're the Gophers, but you'll have your hands full with Kayla Lund serving.
Good communication, sending it over. Oh.
And Samity with another kill.
Such a nice swing, so much power. You can hear her hand contact the ball. 17 kills, 5 blocks. Back up to 250 on the day.
And serving. And that's going to be a kill for Ende. She adds to her team best in kills, now with 16.
And I love that Ende's still smiling. Yes, they have a 4-point lead here, but she's been smiling even when Pittsburgh's been down. That just shows that you believe, and it also keeps your younger teammates around you calm in these big, high-pressure moments.
And a whistle and a violation called on Minnesota, so a point. Oh, violation on Pittsburgh, I beg your pardon, so a point for Minnesota.
Pitt struggled with that this afternoon. Too many net violations. That's happened 4 or 5 times at this point throughout the 4 sets. Oh my gosh, what a set!
That was a crafty play by the crafty veteran. Yes, Zoe Faki. That's the only way to celebrate that.
Oh my gosh, one-handed, tosses it straight up to Wokolo. Beautifully done. I tip my cap, wow.
Kylie Levers, who missed out last year's NCAA tournament appearance, suffered an ACL injury in the 3rd practice prior to the 2019 season. After averaging better than 5 assists a set in 2018, that's going to be a clean kill for Minnesota. Bring the Gophers within 3.
Great job by Samity. And just finding such a hard part of the court to defend. That deep corner. Great awareness, great court vision. She's moved the ball around so nicely today.
Oh, pancake save. That's Samity coming in to save it, but it only delayed the inevitable as Pittsburgh gets another point. They're up by 4 here in the 4th.
Chiamaka Wokolo is having herself a day. Great play by Samity keeping that alive. Unfortunately, ball sent over. Wokolo with the exclamation point there for the kill. 8 kills on 12 attempts. She's hitting 500 out of the middle.
Oh, that almost was a great block, and you can see Pittsburgh, Kayla Lund got there, but it goes out of play, so it's a point for Minnesota, bringing it down to a 3-point deficit for the Gophers.
And this is where you start to feel Minnesota creeping back in, slowly but surely. They close that gap, the lead gets smaller and smaller, starts to shrink.
So big point here, and Minnesota tries to build their momentum. Pittsburgh has 2 timeouts remaining here. Minnesota has used their 2 timeouts. So Dan Fisher might let another point go here before trying to slow things down. He'll let his team try to slow it down right now on this point. Oh, and they do it.
That's big, Eric. That's a big play right there. Something that is so needed because in that moment, had Minnesota won the point, now it's just 1 point in between. And if you're Pittsburgh, you're down here 2 sets to 1. You feel Minnesota creeping back. They're about to tie it up. You feel them coming up behind you, and that's when urgency starts to come in. And you feel the pressure of the moment that, hey, our season's about to come to an end if we can't capitalize in this moment. So great job by Wokolo getting that kill.
And then a mistake by Minnesota gives a point to Pittsburgh. Zoe Fockey trying to keep the momentum going here for the Panthers. Oh, good serve. And another point for Pittsburgh.
And just like that, all the momentum is back on Pittsburgh's side. A kill and a couple of errors for Minnesota, 5-point lead.
This ball looked like it just jumped up and exploded on Kilkelly. I don't know if it's time to joke around, but maybe Dan Fisher, sometimes you just got to say, you know what, if you're going to miss big. Leave no doubt.
That was missing really big, by the way.
That's how the team comes back, though. They pick up a teammate who just had a service error, and Lund with the swing to put Pittsburgh back in front by 5. There's Kylie Levers, who mentioned before missing last season, Katie, with the ACL injury. Dan Fisher told you that she's even better now than she was before her injury.
Yeah, he said in the fall season she had matched where she was prior to that ACL injury, and now in the spring she's well surpassed that in terms of location, her tempo, her defense. Pittsburgh feels like they have great setters that can defend in the backcourt.
Well, there were back-to-back service errors for Pittsburgh. Lund picked up Fockey with the kill, and then Minnesota does a favor for Pittsburgh by answering with a service error of their own. And now Lund back to serve, 3 points away from a 5th set.
Good coverage.
Oh, great save. It started with Lund to keep it alive for Pittsburgh. And then a strong hammer on the right side, dropped down by Samity.
And this set is far from over. Samity gets the kill here. All she has to do is go on a run with the serve. And the pressure is back on the shoulders of the Pittsburgh Panthers.
That's 20 kills now for Samity. 5th time she's gone for 20 or more this season. And now Minnesota trying to creep back in, and this will result in a timeout called by Pittsburgh.
Location of the set there just got away. You know, Inde was coming in hard on her approach. Set was a couple feet off the net. Pittsburgh just needs to refocus just a little bit, have a conversation with head coach Dan Fisher. You come out, you get the pass that you want out of serve receive. Allow your setter to put you in a winnable situation, and you execute. First ball side out. Don't allow a rally to ensue. First ball side out, you're back on top by 4. If not, that pressure continues to build, continues to mount, and it's all you're thinking about because you're a couple of points away from letting this thing slip away, slip through your fingertips, and what has been such a special season for Pittsburgh is done.
Well, we talked about how the hitting percentage had really told the story the first 3 sets. Right now, Pittsburgh's hitting at 205 this set. Minnesota's hitting at 207 this set. So I'll give you an idea how tight things are here. Pittsburgh with the 3-point lead here in the 4th, needing to win this set to force a 5th and deciding set. Panthers have won 14 in a row. They have not lost this spring after going 4-4 in the brief fall season in the ACC. Minnesota with a 5-game winning streak. Trying to go on a little late run here in the 4th set and avoid a 5th set. Gophers took set 1, Pittsburgh set 2, Gophers set 3, and now Minnesota serving down 3 in the 4th. And a big kill out of the timeout for Vasquez Gomez.
That's exactly what you want if you're Dan Fisher. A great pass, great set, and then Valeria Vasquez Gomez puts it away.
Give the point to Minnesota.
Not out of the woods yet.
So Minnesota gets to 20. Oh, dropped down by Vasquez Gomez. And it is set point now for the Panthers.
Great response. The air outside the antenna, coming back, throwing it straight through the block. Not trying to overthink it, do too much. Just controlling that attack there.
Alexis Akeo will come on and serve for the set for Pittsburgh. Oh, going deep on it was Schaffmaster to get the point.
Great job by Schaffmaster, taking that ball, contacting it high over the net, and just pushing it deep to zone 5, right in the corner of the court, over top of the heads of Pitt's defenders.
Set point number 2 for Pittsburgh. And it's out of play. It's a point for Pittsburgh and Katie George. How about 5 sets with a spot in the regional finals on the line?
It's exactly what you want, and it's the first thing we've said that's actually been correct all day. Back and forth we go. Pittsburgh with a 25-21 victory to tie this thing at 2 sets.
Spot in the regional final on Monday on the line. We're heading to a 5th and final set in Omaha. Minnesota took set 1 and set 3. Pittsburgh answered back with set 2 and set 4. The winner of this match will take on the winner of the Louisville-Washington match. Now that one's going to be delayed because it's following on this court about 45 minutes after the completion of Minnesota and Pittsburgh. So for those of you starting to tune in wondering where Louisville-Washington is, that start is going to be delayed. Purdue and Oregon coming up tonight. Kentucky and Western Kentucky will close things out this evening. Other side of the bracket, Nebraska off to an early lead against Baylor. They took set 1 against the Lady Bears. Penn State and Texas will be a big showdown at 5 Eastern time. And Ohio State and Florida will meet to take on Wisconsin. Winner of the Ohio State-Florida game will take on the Badgers, who knocked off BYU last night. So we're heading to a 5th set. I really thought the key point in set 4, Katie George, it was 17-15 Pittsburgh. Minnesota was coming back, but Pittsburgh came out, got that next point, got it back to 3. There hasn't been a huge lead for either side in this match, but that moment right there just felt like it stopped the Minnesota momentum, and Pittsburgh was able to close things out in that 4th set.
It was a defining moment of that match. It felt like Minnesota had regained a portion of the momentum. It was like they were reaching through the net, taking, and Pittsburgh just snatched it back right in that instant to make it 18-15. And then they were able to take it and run with it in set 4. So here we go, start of set 5. This is exactly what you hope for in an NCAA tournament regional semifinal.
First point goes.
As a fan, let me just put
player,
that out
though?
there.
How about
Sorry.
as a player?
No!
What does it feel like as a player? How about some
want
flashbacks?
to be out and done by 3.
Pittsburgh comes back to even it up at 1. We play to 15 here in this 5th set. Each team has 2 timeouts for the 5th set. 1 replay challenge is added for each side.
Great pass by Kilkelly. Gosh.
And Pittsburgh's in front.
Really hard situation for Chi Inde to be in. Out of system, ball's coming over your shoulder almost, across your body, and she's still able to put a lot of pace on that ball to get the kill.
Oh, good block. That's Pittman who steps up. You want your seniors to step up with the season on the line, and she did so with the block.
Great job recognizing that Inde's the hot hand right now. They're funneling balls back to her on that right side. Pittman follows with her feet. Nice block there.
Oh, another good block for Minnesota. Back-to-back points, put the Gophers on top 3-2. How about mindset here, Katie? Because after that third set with Minnesota won, we talked about Pittsburgh maybe playing with their backs to the wall, maybe a chip on their shoulder, kind of that underdog mentality. They played well in that fourth set. Minnesota is now experiencing that for the first time in this match, and it's nothing new to Pittsburgh.
No, it's not, and you wonder for Minnesota, are they ever gonna get tight? But I don't know if it's just the demeanor of the personalities on this team. Regardless if things are going well, regardless if things are going poorly on Minnesota's side after they make an error or two, their demeanor doesn't change, and that's exactly what Hugh McCutcheon wants from his team, right? Schaffmaster being one of them. She looks like she's played in 37 NCAA tournaments, let alone this being her first. So they have a cool, calm, collected demeanor about them, which I think that poise bodes well, especially the longer you play.
There's Schaffmaster with the set back for Samity for the swing.
But you can sense the urgency from Minnesota as well. They don't want to go home. There's a lot of expectations, especially for Stephanie Samity, to get this team back to a regional finals and then a national semifinals as well.
Ende with the kill.
Always smiling.
Well, you'd smile too if you had 19 kills in the match, and that gives her 36 in the 2 matches between Utah and Minnesota. And a swing right back from Taylor Landfair.
Great job by Landfair going cross-court power.
Pittman to serve. Minnesota up 5-4. Again, we play to 15, winning by 2 for the match. Okolo drops it down.
A little quick A6 set right over top of Avakeo's head. Just in between the block. They run that gap set, beautifully done by Wokolo.
That one's going to go long off the swing by Landfair.
First lead by Pitt here in set 5.
I think Pittsburgh led 2-1. I don't want to correct you because you've been perfect for the entire 5 sets, but I know you care about accuracy first and foremost.
I do, thank you.
Entertainment second.
By Pitt.
Oh, look at that swing. That is Samity. The familiar look from her, getting the run, getting the air, and making the perfect contact.
Back row attack, straight down that line with so much precision.
Even again. Vocalo in the middle.
Oh, it's a shame she has to check out. I keep setting her time and time again if the pass presented it. She's done her job today. Yes, she has.
Third on the team in kills with 11, hitting at 600, also has 3 blocks. Here's Fockey. That one's going to miss the mark from Landfair, and this is the largest lead for either team in this 5th set. Timeout on the floor in Omaha. Pittsburgh on top of Minnesota in set 5. Hitting percentage by set telling the story. Pittsburgh winning set number 4, 25-21. Hit a match best 419, and they have jumped out to an 8-6 lead, which feels like a huge lead here in the 5th set, considering we've been going back and forth. But this is the largest lead for either side. Pitt up by 2 out of the media timeout here in the 5th. Again, we play to 15. The winner of this game to take on the winner of the Louisville-Washington game, which was originally slated to start at 3:30, but it is not going to start until 45 minutes after the conclusion of this match, which is far from its conclusion. Blocked back, and Pittsburgh gets another point. They're up 9-6 now in the 5th.
Wow. You can tell Pittsburgh's feeling it. Big block. You can tell from the passion, the celebrations, the fans, the parents there in Omaha, they're feeling it. A 5-1 run by Pitt, but gosh, this is so far from over.
Limited attendance in the convention center at CHI Health Center Omaha. When they move into the main arena starting tomorrow, there'll be expanded attendance. Around 4,000 or so should be the number by the time they get to the the national semifinals rather. So it's friends and family right now. The Minnesota side a little quiet, get lost in their phones for a minute, while the Pittsburgh side excited because the Panthers are on top 9-6 over the number 3 seed, the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Minnesota won set 1, had a couple of runs in that first set, a 6-0 run, a 5-0 run, and they won 25-21. Pittsburgh with a good bounce back in set 2, hit 3-0-2 in that second set to win 25-23. Minnesota won by 5 in set 3, hitting at 367. They got off to a 5-0 start in the 3rd set. Pittsburgh, we talked about it, back against the wall, little chip on their shoulder, fought hard in that 4th set, and they won 25-21, and the momentum has continued to build here in set 5, now on top 9-6. First to 15, winning by 2, wins the match. Pittsburgh has never reached this stage. This is their first time ever in the regional semifinal round. So, of course, a win for the Panthers puts them in the regional final. The field of 8 for the first time ever. Minnesota, they've been a fixture in the next round and in the national semifinals as well, trying to make their 9th regional final appearance. But it's going to have to take a comeback here. I heard a whistle, and I think the challenge card's going to come out. They're going to replay the point. They're going to replay the point. I saw the 2 thumbs up pretty quickly.
Yeah, but that's unfortunate because there was a whistle that the ball was down. Which, if you're Pittsburgh, signifies you've won the point. And if you're Minnesota, signifies, well, we should stop playing. So overpass.
Oh, it's off the foot of Kilkelly, so it should
that right
still be
foot.
alive. And you can see left side of your screen, Patty Rolfe had the 2 thumbs up pretty quickly because I think Brett Myers sounded the whistle. So they're going to replay the point.
Here's the thing. This is a momentous play here. And yes, Dan Fisher is upset. And I know Pittsburgh players on the court are upset because they think the point should be theirs because the whistle was blown. But yes, it did go off Kilkelly's foot. How do you respond from this moment? You cannot let this one call affect the way that you play from here on out. Mentally, just move past it. Say, you know what? Not our luck on this time. We're okay. We're good. Let's just replay this point and continue with the momentum that we had. Do not let this call affect the way that you play moving forward.
So the teams are huddling up. Perhaps you can see it says Pittsburgh challenge. I don't know if they can
you challenge a replay?
This, Katie. Yeah, well, you know, you think about what's available in the whistle, and we saw clearly on that end zone replay, the lead official calling for a replay of the point, and that may be what's going on here, that Pittsburgh is challenging, but you can't challenge.
You know what? Credit to Stephanie Samity for Minnesota recognizing, hey, I think that came off of her foot, and continuing to pursue the ball, because had she not, and they just let it fall, maybe we're not even having this conversation right now.
Again, we review the NCAA challenge system. So after going over to talk to Dan Fisher, Brett Myers is going to head over to the monitor. You know, maybe Fisher is reviewing some other part of this play, but you can see they're looking at the end zone angle, and we had a really good look at it. We'll show it to you one more time, where Kilkelly got her foot out and kept it in play, and we heard the whistle. And we're going to see if we can play it back in real time, Katie, and play it with the sound to see if we can hear on the playback where the whistle came in. And looking over the shoulder, it's really tough to see what they're reviewing here. And hopefully we'll get an explanation from our folks at the court in Omaha. Yes, Katie.
Eric, I've been a winner and a loser time and time again in fifth sets when a break in play like this either halts your momentum or it helps give you the momentum that you need to get back into a set. How will this halt in play affect Pittsburgh? Will they continue to keep rolling? Or will this allow Minnesota to kind of regroup, catch their breath, and fight their way back in to close this three-point gap?
So for a split second, it looked like it was a 10-6 lead for Pittsburgh. The score stays at 9-6 as we get set to replay the point.
It's a big serve here.
Baki comes through with an ace in a big spot.
Massive serve. Is that the Thriller? Is that... Didn't quite look like Michael Jackson, but I think it was the Thriller. It could be a TikTok, I don't know. Though. Not really my thing.
You got to come up with a good dance when a 4-0 run is the longest of the day for Pittsburgh, and that's where they are right now. We were tied at 6, and now it's 10-6. Minnesota now firmly with their backs against the wall, and they come through.
And I love the urgency. I love the passion that you see from Samity. As soon as she makes contact and she knows that ball's going down, she turns to her teammates, brings them into the huddle, urging them to fight back, to push here, because they can too win this set. They can close this out if they fight their way back. Just get a couple of points here on a run with their serve.
That ends the 4-0 run for Pittsburgh. Lund has it blocked back and out of play. Point Pittsburgh. Kylie Levers to serve for Pittsburgh. 4 points away from winning the match. Good serve. Blocked out of play. That's Rollins with the kill. 14th kill for Adana Rollins.
Big time swing from Rollins on the outside. A little bit tight, goes up and gets it. Doesn't shy away from the hands in front of her face, swings right on through.
Also play, but it heads out of play as Samity got there, but sent it out of play. 3 points away from a win. Minnesota will use their final timeout here of this 5th set. Well, we go back to the point you made a moment ago, Katie, when it was 9-6, the inadvertent whistle. How would Pittsburgh handle that? They were up by 3 then. They're up by 4 now. 3 points away from winning the match. Say they handled it well.
Handled it really well. So often you see teams when you have a break in play like that where you're challenging or there's commotion on the sidelines between your head coach and an official, it can stall your momentum. It can halt your good play. And luckily for Pitt, they have the mental capabilities to look past that and say, hey, no big deal. Let's focus on the next play and the play after that. And let's put together a string of points. Now for Minnesota, we've seen how potent of an offense that they can have. In this moment, you have to get a great pass. Allow Melanie Schaffmaster to set Stephanie Samity right there on the screen or another one of her capable hitters. And then from there, you have to go back to the service line and you have to be the aggressor. You have to put the ball on Pitt and pressure them from the service line to force them out of system. If you can do that side out and then go back and get on a serving run, winning this match is well within their grasp.
Winner of this match takes on the winner of Louisville and Washington. That match won't start until about 45 minutes after the conclusion of this match. That was originally supposed to start about 10 minutes ago, so a big delay for Washington and Louisville. Probably back on the other side of that divider that you see because they are trying to burn off some of that nervous energy. The nerves frayed in this match in set 5. The block out of play and a point for Minnesota. Pittman.
And that's the look on a face of somebody who does not want to stop playing. Reagan Pittman telling her team, we're not going home tonight. We are staying in Omaha. Hell of a block there by Reagan Pittman.
Another kill. Rollins for Minnesota. Here come the Gophers now within 2.
And the pressure mounts.
So after the Minnesota timeout, the Gophers pick up back-to-back points. The block with Pittman and Samity teaming up, and then the kill by Rollins. Pittsburgh will use the timeout.
Great job by Winnis with the first contact. Rollins off the inside hand of Chi Inde there. And you can feel that momentum starting to creep back to Minnesota's side and the pressure building for Pittsburgh. But I've got to tell you, Eric, I've been so impressed with the multitude of responses we've seen from Pittsburgh, whether that's them leading, them trailing throughout today's match. They have continued to respond time and time again. The question is, do you have one last response here in you? It's been a long, grueling match for both of these teams. There's been highs, there's been lows. It's been an emotional roller coaster. Do you have one more response? And you see Chi in the huddle, smiling, making her team laugh, trying her darndest to keep this team loose in the biggest moment of their program history, certainly.
Pittsburgh, led by Ende, led by Lund. Their head coach, Dan Fisher, talked about those players, saying it's one thing to be a good player, it's another to be a player who demands the ball in key situations. None bigger for Pittsburgh than right now against Minnesota. That one's going to be long. Point for Pittsburgh, 2 points away. Now Pittsburgh looking, saying that perhaps it was tipped at the net. Will we get a challenge from Minnesota? Was there a touch? Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Well, the line judge signaled a touch on Minnesota's side. And so that's why you have Minnesota players pointing, saying, hey, we've got somebody on our side calling one thing. Pitt has another line official calling something different. Let's sort it out. What is the call?
Well, it looks like on the court, Katie, the call should be point for Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And was it touched here by the Panthers?
Oh.
I don't know. That ball looks like it's past Vasquez Gomez as she stretches that left hand out.
Oh, good camera work, guys.
We're gonna just get a little up higher here.
Oh, I think there's just a
You
what,
think
a
it
centimeter?
grabs that middle finger
No, a
right there?
centimeter of blue in between her fingertip and that ball.
So you're saying
You see
no
right
touch.
there, right there. Unless I think the ball's already past her hand at that point. Oh, this is so close. You often, on a touch on a block, you want to see if the ball redirects its original path.
You can see the line judge with the flag up saying out in front of the Pittsburgh bench. So Minnesota challenging. Was it touched by Pittsburgh? Point to the right is good news for Pittsburgh. There's the point to the right. Great news for Pittsburgh. They don't overturn it. 13-10 Panthers. The resiliency for Minnesota will be tested yet again. Sabrina Starks back to serve for the Panthers. Blocked back, and Minnesota answers back with a point.
You know, Inde wanted that one big time, but she's stopped by the likes of Reagan Pittman, 6'5", redshirt senior. She's been on this stage time and time again throughout her career. Huge block in a moment where Pittsburgh needed it most.
Fourth block this set for the Gophers. Oh, dropped in beautifully. That will fall in. It's match point for Pittsburgh.
Chiamaka Wokolo has been phenomenal all afternoon. I have been so impressed with her play. 12 kills, just 2 errors on the day, 16 attacks, 625. And it's not that she's just beating you with sheer force. She's beating you with the finesse shots just like that, dropping it over, right over top of the block.
Akeo serving for the match. Bumped over by the Gophers. Pittsburgh hammers it home! The Panthers have done it!
Incredible.
They needed to be elite to beat Minnesota. The Panthers were, and for the first time, they are heading to the regional finals.
pure joy of victory and the agony of defeat. I just want to say for Stephanie Samity and Reagan Pittman on Minnesota's team, not sure what the future holds for those two. If they'll stay, if they'll go. What I can say for certain is Stephanie Samity will continue to have an unbelievable volleyball career, whether that's professionally, overseas, or even for the USA national team. Those two have been a pleasure to watch, but just the tears and the joy and the emotion and the shock from Inde.
Unbelievable performance, and you can just tell by the looks. Getting to this point had never happened for Pittsburgh. It was the big wall they had to climb. Well, they did so emphatically with the win over Utah. And why not keep going in Omaha? Starks and Inde, any past disappointments are a distant memory. Congratulations to the Pittsburgh Panthers. Moving on in the NCAA tournament.